මීළඟට මෙම උත්සව සභාව ආමන්ත්‍රණය කරන්නට මම ඉතාමත් ගෞරවයෙන් යුතුව ආරාධනය කරනවා. අද දවසේ මේ උත්සව සභාව වෙනුවෙන් සපපෙනි ගෞරවනීය ආරාධිත අමුත්තා ලෙස අප පිළිගත් එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ සංගමේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා සභාපති සවාහිර් මහත්මයාට
එවැගේම නිශාන්, ladies and gentlemen, there is a very famous saying that the education are the wings for the people just like us. මේ දවස්වල අපි හැමෝම දන්න වාක්‍යයක්. අධ්‍යාපනය කියන්නේ අපිට තියෙන අත්තටු. So, I think you all are known about that. And it's a timely needed point to be talked about furthermore. So, Honorable Mr. M.M.Zawahir, you are the person who is more suitable to talk about this point as a person who deals frequently with the world better than us. So, ladies and gentlemen, please warmly welcome to the on stage Mr. M.M.Zawahir, who is the President for United Nations Association, Sri Lanka. Please welcome to the stage, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening and congratulations students who have qualified today and getting their awards. It is certainly a great pleasure and a real privilege to be here with you all on the most happiest occasion in life when you really achieve something. And to be a part of that is really, really great. I came all the way from Colombo to appreciate these students, encourage them and take them to the next level. Thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share a few thoughts about what we have achieved and what do we do next. First and foremost, education and qualification are two different things. What you have got today is the certificate. That is the qualification you have got. You can frame it, you can embalm it, you can keep it up, you can hang it on your table. Wonderful. But what is important is to achieve that certificate, you did education. What did you learn to achieve that educational qualification? Now, this is the question that everybody looks at a ceremony like this. What is the education that these children have got and how they can use that qualification in real life? Today, I sit in front of international interviews to recruit people. In our organization, we have a Japanese company called Takeda. This company interviews people and they send me a form. It's very easy to interview. You have an MBA, you have a master's degree, this is the marks you get. You have other qualifications, this is the marks you get. You do sports, you get this much of marks. You do extracurricular activities, this much. You develop everything and you are given 100 marks. Can anyone guess what will be the marks if you have an MBA, if you have a master's qualification to get into that job? Let me tell you, it is just 25 marks. Out of 100, you get only 25 marks for an MBA plus a master's degree. I feel so bad for these students who has to study for 4 years, 3 years to complete a degree and an MBA and get only 25 marks to get into this company. So I called the Japanese company and I told, this is very unfair. We have to increase the amount of marks we give to these students for achieving an MBA and a master's degree. You know the response I got? The company representative said, this year we are giving 25, next year it will be 20. Why? I asked him why. He told me a very valid reason. He said, this qualification is only to enter into the organization. After that, it is what you do with your education that is going to work for the organization. And that is great. I thought this is really good, because useless having a certificate if you don't know what you have learned from that. And let me tell you, if you are going to make a difference between education and qualification, it is the soft skills that are going to help you. It is the knowledge of English. It is the knowledge of presenting yourself. It is the moral behavior of yourself. It is how you portray yourself in front of an interview. How you present yourself in front of an audience. How you present yourself and make sure that they trust you, they believe you, they feel that you can do. Now with this qualification, what do we expect? We expect you to have the ability to solve problems. Number one. With this qualification, number two, we want you to network with other children and learn the magic of working as a team. The third thing, we are into the IT industry today. Information technology is driving the whole process with artificial intelligence coming into force. Make use of them very carefully. Learn them, use them for the better. So these three things will take you to the next level. Very often when we bring people to interviews, we ask them, can you introduce yourself? If we introduce 500 people, I'll tell you, 450 will say, my name is this, I am from this school, I studied in this, my father's name is this, my mother's name is this. And that will be all they introduce yourself. Now how can you do this better? I happen to be the judge of an international speakers contest. One student was trying to introduce himself. He came up in front and said, my attitude is in my blood. Be positive. Be positive. This is how he started off the introduction. Then he said, what are the benefits of being positive? What are the benefits of expanding his relationships? What are the benefits of working as a team? What are the benefits of bringing outcomes, the solutions to complex situations that they face day to day? And how beautifully he stressed out his vision, his mission, and how he drives to achieve those. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, parents have a bigger role to play these days. Children are vulnerable to various behaviors using information technology. Mobile phones are a dangerous equipment. It is very dangerous unless it is very carefully monitored and handled by children. We know bringing up a child today is the most difficult thing ever faced, I think. They come out, resort to so many unacceptable things, immoral, very difficult to manage situations. So it is, as teachers, as parents, we have a responsibility to respond to this. And how we respond lies a lot in how closely we are towards our children. So parents and teachers have a bigger responsibility to be close with the children to make sure that they will be able to connect with them and know exactly what right things they are doing, what wrong things they are doing. So today I came here as a representative of United Nations Association. Let me briefly tell you what this association is, why it was formed, and how it can contribute to you as school students and parents at large. First of all, in 1899, there was a conference in The Hague. What was this conference about? It was about avoiding a First World War. They had a big summit with all the nations coming in and discussed ways to prevent a First World War. But as human beings are, we are not sufficiently developed to avoid wars and build peace in ourselves. Just 15 years ago, later, the First World War began. Millions of people died. And what did they do? They set up an organization to govern the world, to build peace and security. But even that, after 15-20 years, in 1934, what happened? The Second World War erupted. Another million of people died with a disastrous bombs coming up. And then they formed the United Nations. On 24th of October, we celebrate the United Nations Day. On that day, we will be celebrating to prevent the Third World War. Because if we are to face a Third World War now, if not all of us, most of us will not be there to see the consequence of the war. It is so dangerous. With the press of a button of a madman can destroy this world in a split second. So we are sitting on a bomb. We are looking at a place where our lives are not safe. So it is our responsibility to build peace across the world, across the globe, to the leaders of all nations, to bring about how we can live peacefully. And that is the reason why the United Nations was formed. And the preamble of the United Nations very clearly states why the United Nations was formed. It says, we the peoples of United Nations, determined to succeed generation from the scourge of war, which twice in our lifetime have seen untold sorrow. This itself shows that we don't want to see another world war. We only want to build peace. And to build peace, they created the United Nations. And from that day, so far, we have not seen a Third World War. But I feel we are very close to a Third World War today. Or even more people have died in wars, internal wars, than the First and the Second World War now. So, if we don't take action now, if we don't react to this dangerous situation, we will be all eliminated from the world. So this is the reason why the United Nations was formed. And then they started the development programs. With the specialized agencies, they have 24 UN specialized agencies. What do? They do the development work. And they came out with the Millennium Development Goals in the 2000. And in 2015, they came out with the Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals have 17 goals and 169 targets to achieve by each nation. All 193 countries have signed this document to ensure that we will reach these targets by 2030. Unfortunately, we were stuck by COVID, we were stuck by various other wars in between the countries, and then we were far below our achievements of sustainable development goals. Parallelly to the United Nations organization, we also formed the United Nations Association in each of the countries. The United Nations organization was a political wing where the government interacted, but they were of a higher level of decision making rather than implementation. So the United Nations Association was formed, and it has a World Federation of UN Association where every nation, every country has an association in it. And what do? They take up the educational programs and disseminate the irreplaceable work of the UN to the common people. Now, this is very difficult to do if you don't have funds, if you don't have people, if you don't have volunteers. However, the Sri Lanka United Nations Association has now very carefully thought out programs for the last 75 years. And we have done enormous amount of work by getting approval from the Ministry of Education to form a study circle program in schools, legally approved, and we do programs. What are the programs we do? I told we have sustainable development group, education on human rights, education on various other development needs for the world. So this is what we do. And how do? We go to each region, we train them. At the end of the year, we have a program to give opportunities for children to come up, show their talents to the world. We give them the opportunity for the best speaker to be the keynote speaker at the UN Day. Similarly, we have general knowledge questions, we have essay competitions, we have the best teachers awards, and it is a very rigorous program that runs right across the country with all schools that are interested in learning and disseminating the information of UN to the common people. So my friends and my colleagues, my children, my message today is that you have a responsibility to build, to respond, to react to the world's needs. And all of you as leaders, as qualified people, have a bigger role to play to network with other students and bring them to you and educate them also to do. So now, why am I shouting like this? It is because survival of the fittest is not only the law of jungle, regrettably a hard reality of human life. Innovate or perish is the order of the day. Only those who are able to earn and sustain competitive advantage through creative, innovative problem solving can survive, grow, and excel. And my best wishes for all of you to survive, grow, and excel. Over to you.
නමස්කාර පූර්වක ස්තුතිය මේ මොහොතේදී පුද කරනවා. ඒ වගේම මේ මොහොතේදී මේ උත්සව සභාව අමතා කතා කළ එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ සංගමේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා සභාපති M.M.Zawahir මහත්මයාට අපගේ ගෞරවනීය ස්තුතිය. ඒ වගේම අපි එතුමන්ට රැඳී සිටින්නට කියලා ආරාධනය කරනවා වේදිකාවේ.
Thank you so much for the great speech held by Mr. M.M.Zawahir, who is the President for United Nations Association, Sri Lanka. And we would like to inform you that there is a special appreciation award to be given to Mr. M.M.Zawahir. So we are kindly invite you to stay at the audience. Mr. M.M.Zawahir, for the dedication, for the contribution has rendered on respect of this duty. So this time, we invite Mr. Hetty to offer this appreciation award to Mr. M.M.Zawahir, who is the President for United Nations Association Sri Lanka.